on the side of PN, they will also use certain campaign strategies, and now we're going into the campaign strategy part already, where they will use different messages to attack the unity government among different communities. So, for example, let me know if, let's say, this message sounds familiar or not lah. Let's say Gerakan were to go to the ground to say to the non-Malay voters, this is your time to cast a protest vote. This is a time for you to say, I'm not happy with the performance of the federal government because of X, Y, and Z. This is a time for you to see how come, to let DAP know, how come they've been so quiet on different things. Are they becoming an MCA 2.0? And the irony is that MCA is now together with the unity government. So you have MCA 1.0 and then possibly MCA 2.0 in there. Right? So this is the message. For PAS and Bersatu, the 3R message actually works. Right? But they may not use the KK Mat issue or the Palestine issue to play up these kinds of 3R issues. What they may do, and this may not be public, that means it won't be necessarily through charamas. It may be through, let's say, the mosque network that PAS is very strong in. They will have a whispering campaign to say, hey, look at what certain DAP leaders said over the past few months. Right? And this is something that was repeated and also publicly mentioned by UMNO leader Ahmad Maslan. He said DAP leaders should be careful in terms of not treading on some of these sensitive issues. Yeah. And he mentioned a few, right? And we've talked about this in our podcast. And
that's right.
Others have brought this up as well. So the UNESCO listing, for example, that's one. Asking for non-Malays to be included in the Sharia committee. Another one would be, pushing for local elections, and then the fourth one would be, a DAP leader proposing the notion of a non-Malay prime minister, right? So these are the things that will be used on the ground to circulate and to remind some of the Malay voters, this is, what the DAP represents, right? I don't think that's a responsible way of doing things, but what is good for the goose is good for the gander, because what goes around comes around, right? So I think this will be something that would be effectively used by the PN, especially PAS and Bersatu. And they also have an added issue, which is, I think, a legitimate issue, which is to say that, look, the government is going to raise prices on petrol. The government is going to raise prices on diesel, right? Of course, I think one of the challenges that the unity government faces, I do agree with their policy of subsidy targeting, but like we said before, the policy details are very, very
unclear,
very vague, right? So that opens up the government, the unity government, for attacks on these grounds.
That's right. And I think the recent case of the whole Bosco issue and all these collaborating with, still working with UMNO, and stuff like that, a lot of infighting and so on, will be definitely played up again. Yes. Yeah. But after that conversation, I realized that I'm still too nice to be a politician.